Hey guys, what's up? It's me here, JPineapple, and I'm back again for another video, and this time I'm going to be counting down my top 10 favorite action figures of 2017. Now these figures are basically all 6-inch scale figures. Some of them might be 7 inches or whatnot, but most of them are within the 1/12 scale, and they're mostly from lines like DC Icons, DC Multiverse, Marvel Legends, and Star Wars The Black Series, so you're not going to see any Mezco or SH figures. They're basically all going to be domestic style figures. You're not going to see any imports on this list, unfortunately, so I just thought I'd let you guys know, and your list may very well be different from mine, but this is just from the following lines: the Star Wars Black Series line, DC Icons, DC Collectibles over there, DC Multiverse, Mattel, Hasbro with their Black Series, and of course Marvel Legends, which is what I primarily collect. But this is just a compilation of all the action figures that I collected in 2017, and this is just a top 10 list of all the figures I collected last year in 2017. So 2017 was really good for action figures, in my opinion. I think it was a really good year. Especially for Marvel Legends, I thought it was awesome. Black Series really got their game up, but it seems like this year they're going to be even better because they're using the new face print technology and everything, so it's going to be really good this year. But last year was really good too, so we're going to be counting down our top 10 favorite figures of 2017. So let's just get into it, and some of these figures here, some of them may be on the list, and some of them are just here because I decided to shove them there. So, without further ado, let's just get into the honorable mentions, shall we? So starting off our honorable mentions list here is Thrawn, Grand Admiral Thrawn, and I really did have a lot of fun with this figure. I really think it was a really cool figure, and I think it was very unique. I was actually really excited to get this figure because I think the character's pretty dope, and I really wanted to get this figure, and I was actually pretty surprised when I got the figure, but there is some things that do let the figure down, like for instance, when you bend the ab crunch, this is like a big gap in the back here, and the double hinge knees, they kind of look like really weird. So that's pretty much the only downsides to this figure though, and but I just really do think that this figure was pretty cool, and I lost the weapon, but he did also come with a pistol there that goes inside there, but it seems I don't have that on me right now, but this figure's just really cool to just stay inside this pose and pose with some troops and stuff. It's actually really fun to pose around. So Thrawn takes a spot on the honorable mentions place right here. And the next figure on my honorable mentions list is Starlord. Now this figure was so close to coming onto my actual list of top 10 Marvel Legends of 2017 and my top 10 favorite figures of 2017, but this figure just did not make the cut. I thought this figure was really good, but it was not one of my favorite figures of 2017. There are some downsides, and like the paint and stuff just really does let it down sometimes, but overall I think it was very hard to choose this whole list without putting the Starlord in it, because it really hurt me not to put this at all on my Marvel Legends list, and I think it deserved at least an honorable mention on my Marvel Legends list, but it makes an honorable mention for my favorite figures of 2017 because this figure is really awesome. Both versions are actually really good. I actually really do like this normal version, and it does come with better painted guns than this 2-pack version with Ego, this figure takes a honorable mention place on my list. So the next honorable mention here is Ego. Now this figure took the front runner as it took a spot on my number 10 on my top 10 Marvel Legends of 2017, but this figure gets an honorable mention for my favorite figures of 2017 because it is one of my favorite figures of 2017, but it's not in my top 10. It might be in my top 20, but it's not in my top 10, so it deserves at least an honorable mention. If you guys haven't seen my top 10 Marvel Legends already, you guys should go see it. I like this figure because it's just a really awesome and unique figure. It's uniquely sculpted. It's got an awesome sculpt. I really do like the way this figure works. The head sculpts are awesome. The digital face printing is awesome. So Ego gets a place on an honorable mention for my top 10 favorite figures of 2017. So the next figure on my honorable mentions list is the Praetorian Guard from Star Wars The Black Series. I really did dig these figures, and I still do dig these figures. I think these figures at least deserve an honorable mention, but the only reason why they don't get any place on the list is because they're a bit fiddly to play around with, regardless of if you get the one without the with the cloth or with this plastic on it. And I didn't actually get the chance to get that set in 2017, so these two figures are the only figures that I have, and they're the single cart release. And I'm fine with these two, to be honest, and I think they're very similar to each other. So yeah, I think they all deserve at least an honorable mention on my list. This is a pretty dope figure to play around with. So on my honorable mentions list next is Sunfire. Now this figure was actually going to be on the list, but I decided to put it back inside here because I think it deserves an honorable mention because it is primarily a reuse, but however it is a good reuse of the Spider-Man 29 body mold. It's primarily based mostly on the paint department, and I still do think it is a really dope figure, so it deserves at least an honorable mention. I really did have a lot of fun playing around with this figure. I think the paint looks great. I think it's just an overall cool figure to play around with. So yeah, Sunfire is also one of my favorite X-Men characters, if you guys didn't know. So yeah, Sunfire takes an honorable mention spot on my list. Woof. Okay guys, I could not make a favorite figures of 2017 without putting Jackal on it. I really dug this figure, but it takes an honorable mention spot on the list because it just isn't good enough for the top 10. Maybe the top 20, but the top 10 definitely not, because this figure just kind of sucks a bit in the paint department. But that doesn't take away from the figure and how awesome it is, so it deserves an honorable mention. I really wanted to put this figure on my favorite figures because I think it's just such a unique and cool figure. Plus, the articulation is great on this figure. I think it's one of the best molds that Hasbro has made in 2017. It's a brand new mold, by the way, and I really dig the articulation on this one. It may be basic for Marvel Legends, but I still think it's really dope figure. So Jackal gets an honorable mention on my list. And the final honorable mention for my list is Hela. Now guys, I'm pretty sure a lot of you were expecting this to be on my top 10, but it just isn't, guys. It just doesn't make the cut. This figure, honestly, this head sculpt is my favorite head sculpt, and that issue over there made me not have as much fun as I have with the other figures on the list. So yeah, but it is very close. It was very hard for me to not put this figure on the list. I was going to at first, but then yeah, I really just think that because of this issue, this head issue, and by the way, the head does pop off very often, and this is my favorite head sculpt, by the way, for the figure. So yeah, it is a big issue, that head issue. So yeah, it does sit too far up on the peg, and that is the biggest issue with this figure, and that's why it doesn't take a spot on the list. But regardless, look at the figure; it looks amazing. It takes an honorable mention spot on my list, guys. I just can't put it on my top 10 favorites. I'm sorry, guys. Number 10. So the number 10 figure on my favorite figures of 2017 is the Doomsday from the Superman vs. Doomsday set from DC Icons. Now guys, I love my DC figures, and Doomsday was one I was most looking forward to for this whole year. I was waiting for this figure to come out, and just because this is the signal of the end of DC Icons, this figure deserves a spot on the list, because DC Icons definitely, if this is the last figure from DC Icons, it definitely went out with a bang, because this is one of my favorite figures of 2017. Looking at the sculpt work, it's just a dope piece, guys. This reminds me, every single time I look at this figure, I'm just like, yep, that is Doomsday. That's the Doomsday I think of. It's just a dope figure, guys. It has really good articulation. It's a decent size too, guys. This figure deserves the top 10 spot. The only real problem with this figure, and there's always going to be problems with the figures, but the only problem I have is the arm articulation, and probably the pegs are a little loose on here, but that is the only problem with the figure. This Doomsday, other than that, it's just a dope piece to set up, and I think it just looks absolutely amazing when you get in a great pose. So Doomsday takes the number 10 spot on my list. Number 9. So coming in at number 9 is Kylo Ren from The Last Jedi. Now guys, I had so much fun with this figure. First of all, I actually do like the rubber cape. It did actually grow on me. I think it sculpted in a way that makes it look good, and it sits well on the figure, especially doing a good pose, a cool pose like that. That was really dope. And you can easily get the hands, even though it has single joints, they act like double joints, and that is dope. I think that is just so dope that you can get a single joint to bend in that much, and this figure just really surprised me. The lightsaber, unfortunately, for this figure, I did break, and I had to replace it with the old one. And as you guys can see, this is not the original head. I actually did a head swap with the old Kylo Ren and put the helmet from that version on this one. This is actually the single-carded version for The Last Jedi, Kylo Ren, but I just think that this figure looks so much better with the helmet on, and I really do think that this figure deserves the number 9 spot on my list. So number 9 goes to the Star Wars Black Series Last Jedi Kylo Ren. So coming in at the number 8 spot is the SpiderMan 2099 figure from that Sandman Build-A-Figure wave. I could not include a top 10 favorite figures of 2017 without putting the Marvel Legends SpiderMan 2099 figure on it. This is just a really solid figure. The piece is actually really well done. The paint on it is just great. I absolutely love the paint. There might be a little blemishes here and there, but that does not matter because the paint is still good. I like this metallic paint that Hasbro has used for this Spider-Man figure. I wish they used it for their Iron Man figures. Maybe that new Iron Man might have a red that is similar to this, maybe a little bit not as shiny, but I wish that Hasbro would just use this for their Iron Man figures. But nonetheless, this Spider-Man 29 figure is awesome. They made a brand new mold for this figure, and they have actually already reused it with Sunfire, and the Claw figure that is with the Claw and Shuri 2-pack comes with this mold as well. And that is just such a good thing, because I think this is probably the best buck that Hasbro has made for the male body. So Hasbro, I really dig this figure. I love the gauntlets on the side here. There's just all these awesome details on this piece that I think makes it deserve the number 8 spot on my list. So Spider-Man 2099 gets the number 8 spot on this list. And the number 7 spot goes to the movie Yondu from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 movie. This piece is amazing. I love this piece. It just absolutely blew me away when it came out. Unfortunately, I don't know where the needle piece is, but if it were, I would have it displayed on its head. I'll just quickly throw up a picture of Yondu and that I took with that needle thing, and it's just awesome the way that you can actually just put it in the head there, and it looks amazing as well. And you can also, there's also a pouch here where you can put it in, but it's just a great figure overall, guys. It has so much detail. That it has a second head sculpt that looks like the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 movie head sculpt, so that's awesome too. I just think that this is just such a cool figure. I really liked Yondu in that movie. I think he was the best character in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and this figure does the character so much justice. I really dig this figure. Every single time I look at this figure, I find something new in it, so yeah, it's a really dope figure. So the number 7 spot goes to Yondu. And the number 6 spot goes to the MCU or the Netflix Daredevil costume. Man, oh man, I really dig this piece. It's just awesome, guys. Look at all the details that are around this figure. You can clearly see Hasbro put a lot of effort into this. This is more like a kit bash, but it is a good piece. I'll just extend my tripod really fast, but yeah, this figure is awesome. I really dig this piece. There's so much in this piece. Like, just have a look around it. The wrinkles look great. I really like the red and black. The head sculpt is awesome. It's just a great piece, guys. The only problem is that the shoulders kind of gash up there, but besides that, this is awesome. Such an awesome piece. This is on my top 10 Marvel Legends of 2017, and it is on my top 10 favorite figures of 2017. So yeah, the number 6 spot goes to the MCU Netflix Daredevil. And the number 5 spot on my list goes to Old Man Logan. I really had a lot of fun with this figure on my list, and you guys might see a lot of Marvel Legends on this list, and that is because Marvel Legends is the main line that I collect, and I think it's overall the best line of action figures. At least for 2017, it was the best line for action figures. 2018 might be different, but I think that Marvel Legends is a really great line, and this figure is no exception. This is a great Marvel Legends figure. Old Man Logan is such a cool piece. It's the perfect size for Wolverine. It has amazing articulation. It's just a really awesome looking piece. The jacket here is awesome. You can kit bash this with the bucket cap mold, Jim Lee Cyclops, and you can do some cool stuff with that and make like a really awesome jacket for a Cyclops. But overall, guys, I really dig this piece. It's such a cool piece, and that head sculpt is awesome too. Man, oh man, I love this head sculpt. So yeah, I really like the figure. So that's why it takes number 5 on my list of top 10 favorite action figures of 2017. And the number 4 spot on my list goes to the all new, all different Spider-Man. You guys might be wondering, why is he not doing like the weird number 4 thing? I literally just forgot to do that for a lot of these shots. So yeah, sorry, I'm not going to be doing my special intro for now on. But besides that, let's just get onto the piece. Why do I like this figure so much? Because it's my first ever real Spider-Man that's in my collection. It's just a dope piece. I don't think this is as good as the Pizza Spider-Man, but it's basically like that for me because I don't have the Vintage Wave Spidey or that Pizza Spidey. And I don't think I'm going to be getting them anytime soon, so this is the only Spider-Man I have right now, and this is the Spider-Man I have to put up with, so yeah, I still think it's a great piece though. I really dig it, I really do. I think Hasbro did a good job with this piece. I don't mind the Spider logo, it really grew on me, and the green paint, I think it looks cool. It's a nice modern take on Spider-Man. Yeah, pretty dope piece, so it takes number 4 on my list. So coming in at number 3 is Colossus, guys, and I really had a fun time with this piece. I think it's just such a cool figure. This Colossus piece, guys, I do like this figure. This wasn't on my top 10 Marvel Legends of 2017, but it is definitely one of my favorites of the year. Now, that top 10 Marvel Legends of 2017 was just the best Marvel Legends figures, and that was not so much my favorite figures, that was just the best figures for Marvel Legends style. I think those were the best, but these is my favorite figures for 2017, and yeah, that's why the whole list is completely different to my top 10 Marvel Legends, but some of my top 10 Marvel Legends are some of my favorites, so yeah, and yeah, this was an honorable mention on my top 10 list, and it's number 3 for this list because I just think it's just such a cool figure, and Colossus is a cool character. I don't know much about Colossus, but I still think Colossus is a cool character. I think they should have went with the classic root costume, and I think I would have liked this figure a bit more, and it definitely would have been more on my list. It would have been maybe number 2 or number 1. I don't know about that, but it's still an awesome piece, so it takes number 3 from my list. So I don't think that you guys thought that this is very much of a surprise, because Angela is my number 2 favorite figure of the year, because every single time I look at this piece, I just think it looks badass. I think this just looks awesome. And I think number 2 and number 1 could easily be interchanged. Yeah, I think this figure and the number 1 figure could easily be interchanged with each other. I think these two figures, the number 1 figure and the number 2 figure, could be easily interchanged. I think they're both equally as good, but this figure does take the number 2 spot simply because I don't know the character as well as the number 1 character on my list. So yeah, but I still do like this figure. I think it's awesome. I love this Angela figure. So much paint, so much detail. Gosh, Hasbro's been killing it with the female figures for 2017, so I hope they continue that streak in 2018, so let's get on to the number 1 figure, guys. And the number 1 figure of 2017 for me, my number 1 favorite figure of 2017 is the Star Wars Black Series Jaina Solo, guys. Now, I have not reviewed this figure yet, but I will be doing one very shortly. This figure is an absolute boss of a figure. I really dig this figure, so much so that I am going to be doing a review of it. I was thinking of not doing a review for it, but I figured, you know what, this figure is just too dope and badass not to do it, because this honestly, guys, this really just shows that Hasbro goes beyond above and beyond, really. The head sculpt is great. The articulation is great. The single joints on this figure act like double joints. Female figures usually aren't able to bend that much. Usual female joints don't bend that much. This one does. Hype, hype, hype. Okay, so the lightsaber is currently on there, so the lightsaber goes there, and she comes with the purple lightsaber. Jaina Solo's the daughter of Han Solo and Princess Leia in the Legend comics, so yeah, she's pretty cool. And she's a pilot too, so yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, there's the helmet on there, stuff like that. We'll just shove her lightsaber in like that, and boom. So yeah, pretty dope, pretty dope. And this is also in the Legends comics, so yeah, it's not actual canon. No, she is not Kylo Ren's sister. No, just no, that's not true. Although it seems as if that would be true, but no, that's not true. So yeah, these were in the comics way before The Force Awakens was released. So yeah, Jaina Solo is my #1 figure of 2017. So guys, that's the end of this video, everyone. That's my top 10 favorite action figures of 2017. It was an awesome year. 2017 was awesome to be collecting. There was a lot of great figures coming out, so yeah. But this year is going to have a whole heap more, so I can't wait to start collecting more figures sooner and sooner for 2018. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my top 10 action figures of 2017. If you guys did, please be sure to hit like and subscribe and let me know what your list is. So yeah, as I said before, the reason why there's different Marvel Legends in this list as there is in my top 10 Marvel Legends of 2017 is because this is my top 10 favorites, and the one for the top 10 Marvel Legends of 2017 had a different criteria, and it was primarily based on whether or not the figure is a general good figure or not. So that's why I was a bit more harsher with my Marvel Legends of 2017. But this year, this list is a bit more chill. It's more like my personal favorite list. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys did, hit like and subscribe. Comment below your thoughts of my list, and also comment below your list as well if you guys wish to. So yeah, until next time, everyone, it's JPineapple signing out. Peace. Hey guys, what is up? It's me here, JPineapple, and I'm back again for another video, and this time we are going to be counting? No. So there you have it, everyone. That's my top 10 Marvel Legends. And the final honorable you. Yeah. Oh, wait. Ugh. And the #1 on my favorite figures of 2017 is the Star Wars Black